high.
Let's start with that rate cut, now that I've just been talking about it. When the Central Bank's Monetary Policy Committee meets on Wednesday, what would you expect them to do?
I really expect the rates to come down. I think it's time we started seeing single-digit rates level, that is rates below 10%. That would, I mean, that's my feeling. If I see that level, then I'd be happy.
But that would be really steep, considering the CBR is at 13% right now.
Look, Larry, inflation is already at single-digit levels.
Yes.
Remember, when we first started doing this thing when the MPC started to meet on a monthly basis, the key here was to try and tame the Kenya shilling. That has been done. So now what's the next step? Economic growth. How do you put economic growth? Easing of the interest rates. Because
inflation has been going down in a spectacular manner, below 5%. We never thought we'd get here, because we were we're almost at 20% just over a year ago, and here we are now.
Yeah, true. So I think the focus now should be on economic growth, and that is where the MPC should bring down rates so that guys can easily access credit, and we can move forward.
And how about the shilling? What are your thoughts on the shilling?
The shilling, again, I think it will continue to weaken in the coming few, but the levels of stabilization have been reached. I believe 85, 80 levels. That's healthy.
85 and 80 are a bit far apart. That's a huge difference.
Larry, you got me there. 85, 82, 83. Those levels are are okay for me.
All right, that's fair enough. Let's go back to the Nairobi Securities Exchange. We are fine. Week on week, the NSE 20 share index dipped slightly, but with this still at 4,125. Is it likely that 4,200 should be the new target?
I don't see a 4,200.
Yes.
Though the jury's still out on that. I mean, look, the earnings reports, I think all of them are out. Unless we have one or two that haven't released. So really, I don't see much that should drive the market. In fact, in any case, I see a sustained period of profit taking. I see guys who made their money now trying to ease off.
One of the interesting trends right now is foreign investor participation. Though the participation was low last week, but the inflows actually increased to a 6-week high. $15 million came in just from foreign investors.
I think the retail guys, I think we've been focusing on the special issues.
Yes.
We've had a couple of rights issues, cash calls, and so on and so forth. So really, then the retailers have also taken a back seat. Foreigners, that is a show of confidence for the market.
Speaking of those cash calls, let's just get this out of the way. CFC Stanbic's cash call, 112% subscription rate. It raised 4.5 billion shillings for expansion. Very comfortable numbers there.
Yeah, really, it shows that there's still money out there with the citizens.
Yes.
Kenyans have a lot of money because if you look back to the last T-bill auctions, we are still seeing the same things. We are having oversubscriptions. I think there's still a lot of money out there that needs to be tapped.
And there's now talk that Uchumi itself will be doing a cash call about bringing in about 100 million new shares. So there's a likelihood from some clever people who've looked at this that they may price it about 13 shillings, which is about a 20% discount from its current share price.
For Uchumi, 13 shillings is okay. I agree with the clever people, me being one of them.
You're very modest.
Yeah, I agree with the clever people. Uchumi expect nothing short of an oversubscription.
Yes.
I mean, it's a company that has become a success story for the Nairobi. I mean, for listed companies.
Yes.
That all is not lost. That the company could never go under. So really, if it comes to the market, I expect nothing short of oversubscription for them.
Because as the only retailer that's been doing quite well across the region, the only listed retailer as well, that's the only thing we can judge the basis of how good the retail sector is based on Uchumi.
Larry, Uchumi is a Kenyan pride. Yes.
Excellent. Let's talk about some other numbers also out this week. AIB Capital, because of its higher profits, the share price also ticked up on a fairly comfortable margin.
AIB Capital closely held counter, but in the recent past we've seen reorganizations. So really going forward, I expect the company to trade more and more, and I expect the price to go up actually.
By how much? You've said this before, you're not a fortune teller, but I keep saying it anyway.
and I keep on reminding you.
All right, you're a good man. Centum Investment, it's 20% of its holdings is in this bottlers of Coca-Cola, and they're facing a 5 billion shilling claim in excess tax from the taxpayer. Centum Investment says if this goes through, this might significantly affect our earnings.
For Centum Investments, that's rather unfortunate because again, I believe that they're well diversified.
Yes.
And even if it should, okay, the construction sector hasn't started bringing in dividends yet, but really I don't see, it will, of course, it will affect them in the short run, but long run I don't see much of an effect.
But which the diversification is there, but in the statement, it's almost a cautionary statement. They say if 20% were exposed to these Nairobi bottlers and whatnot, they said the taxman needs 5 billion shillings from them. If they lose that case, it's a matter in court right now, but if they lose that case, then they have to pay, and that might have some impact, however small.
Yes, it will have an impact, but Larry, it's never the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world.
Yes.
Very optimistic. And finally, Bamburi Cement, because you talked about the construction industry, they touched a new year high last week. What should we know about that content?
The construction sector is still coming up. I expect positive numbers for that sector. Anything in the cement, I mean, in the construction sector, I'm bullish.
Because I want to compare that with the East Africa Portland Cement, which reported a loss, 821 million shillings.
Now we all know the troubles that East African Portland Cement went through. So I don't think they're yet to recover. What do you think?
So it puts in the case for proper solid management and things like these.
It's corporate governance.
Corporate governance.
B and corporate governance C.
So why is it, do you think they've turned around from what you see? I know you don't see the board or anything, but from what you read in the media, do you think Portland Cement has put in place the right structures to try and turn this around?
Larry, given the fact that I haven't seen anything in the media, it means they're doing well. The media only reports negative cases.
Okay, Crispus, we'll leave it there. Asante sana.